guys? This is Alaskan Hog from FinTrade Pro. So wanted to talk about SPY tonight. So obviously we had, a pretty rough day in the market. If you were in trade of the week puts, you did great, fantastic. There was several of us went over 100% on the plays, some even more. But here's the daily on SPY. As you can see, we came down and came pretty close to touching that 200 daily moving average right there. So, going into the 5-minute chart and just looking at, looking at what happened today, obviously sell off up until, about, it'd be about 11:45 Eastern time, where we hit a low of 302.10 and then bounced and then worked our way, just kind of sideways in a consolidation manner for the rest of the day. There was I guess you can call it a little trend line here. But I really don't think none of this is going to matter, going into tomorrow, because, we do have we have some numbers coming out tomorrow. So if you look at, what we have coming up tomorrow, we have the GDP numbers and the jobless claim numbers that are going to be coming out. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen tomorrow, one way or the other. It's going to move the market. There's some other numbers coming out as well, but the big one is the GDP. Expecting the forecast is to be -5%. If it's worse than that, you could definitely see a pretty big drop. Same thing with the jobless claims. If the numbers aren't good, you can definitely see this breaking down even more. Okay, so you definitely got to be careful with it. If it were to break down and get down past this 303 level right here, I think that's a minor support. Kind of where it touched multiple times today. Kind of hung around that area today. So if you were to break down below that, you could definitely see it getting down to that 300 level. If it were to break that 300, you would want to see, if you're going to go bearish in the market, you would want to see it break that 300 with a significant amount of volume. Okay, you definitely want to see volume if it's going to break one way or the other. So I think tomorrow is going to pick a direction in the market, and it'll confirm Friday what the direction is going to be. So looking at long term, if you go back out to the to the daily chart, if it were to turn and the market start heading down, we have a golden cross setup that was coming, but you see the 50 period moving average, or the 50 daily moving average, is starting to flatten out right here. And if it were to continue to flatten out and turn, that would definitely not be good. You could definitely expect to come back down and test this choppy area right here that we had. Okay, I'm not saying that it's going to drop all the way down to 290, 280, but it's definitely possible. So we just got to see what these numbers. If the numbers are good and we get a bounce off the 200 daily moving average, we could definitely get ready to go, test those marks again to see if we can get back to an all-time high. Okay, so those are my thoughts heading into tomorrow. One way or the other, we are going to make a move based on our economic data that's coming out in the morning. I believe it is 8:30, so it will come out pre-market. So just make sure that you guys are aware of that. Obviously, we're options traders. Nothing we can do about pre-market. But we'll see. There was a lot of activity in the finance sector today as far as options go. So we'll just have to see what tomorrow brings. All right. So until then, you guys sleep tight. Have a great night, and trade smart.